onions typically take 75 to 110 days, something like that. You're gonna look at your onions. You can see that they're starting to put this little, you can see the kind of brown paperish layer on the outside right here. You see all that? That is a good sign that they are pretty much on their way to maturing. Sometimes the foliage will fall over like this. That's another thing you can look for. Also, one of the things that you need to keep in mind is that if you have a ton of rain in your forecast, or you've been getting rain after rain after rain, sometimes it's better to harvest them early than to wait longer for them to get bigger and then end up with a waterlogged onion, which means it's just going to be all spongy and gross. And that happened to us one year. And so we've been getting a lot of rain recently, and because of that, I'm really keeping an eye on these onions. They still have a nice firm feel to them, which is good. But because we've been getting so much rain, and then we're getting more rain, it looks like coming today and then possibly tomorrow, I'm going to start pulling onions that I think are ready. Basically, all you're going to do is come to the furthest part down the onion like this, and you're just going to pull it straight up like that. And you can just shake off the dirt. Very easy to do, especially in loose soil. This is like really nice and moist from when it rained. If you let the onions get too mature, they won't store as well. And like this one right here, you can see that it started to split apart. You see how it's splitting off? That is not something you want. I mean, it'll still be edible and we can still eat this thing, but it's just not ideal for storage. Look at that sucker. Beautiful. We planted some onions along our food forest edge here, and they were planted around the same time as these other onions. And as you can tell here, they're ready to come out. These have all fallen over. They've got that nice skin on them. So same method, just pulling out, shaking that dirt off, just like that. But these are all really pretty. I mean, look at that. Beautiful sized bulbs. Man, thank you, Lord Jesus. That's amazing. For this part, you'll want to have twine and a knife to cut the twine with. I'm putting them together in a stacking pattern. This helps me to put more together in like a little bunch, and also helps the airflow. I'm taking the twine now and wrapping it around, tying it off like you will with your shoes, that first step on shoe tying, and then I'm just going to put a knot, and then I will take my knife and cut it to size, leaving enough length to be able to adjust how high I want it up on top of the ceiling. We just screwed some small screws in the 2x4s here to hang the string from. And I'm just simply double knotting that string there to the screw so it won't fall. Just like so. We'll go ahead and get our string ready. Wrap it around like that. Pull it tight. It doesn't have to be super, super tight because then you'll cut the stems off of the onions, but I'm holding that piece, that little tie, that first tie I did with my finger there so it doesn't loosen as I pull down like that. And then we'll take the knife. I like to give myself plenty of space so I can adjust the height that I want. One thing to keep in mind as we're setting up these onions to be cured is I'm putting them up in different levels. So like right here, we've got some that are dropped down. These are pulled up. These are pulled up higher than those. These drop down here. These come up. That allows for airflow to come in. A buddy of mine, Bruce, one of my good friends, made this custom holster for this knife that was passed down from my grandfather. And I just want to give him a shout out because I really love that holster. So thanks, Bruce. Appreciate it. We are on day 9 exactly since we've hung these up. So what I like to do about a week later is come in and I will assess the onion. Like right here on this one, we got another piece that's just not necessary. I can take it from this top, bring it off, and it's gonna make that a lot cleaner for storage. The main thing is you don't want to pull off stuff that seems still moist. That's gonna open the onion up for, make it susceptible for disease and rot. When you go to store it. But we're gonna take these, cut them about like that. You don't want to cut too close to the bottom, just about like that. I would say like 1/16 of an inch, maybe even 1/4 of an inch. But so the idea behind this, like if you're wondering why you cut those off, is it just allows the onion to dry out and cure even better. And then on top of it, it cuts back on like the dirt and grime when you go to store it away in a cool, dark place. All right, so another one of the reasons why you want to take off pieces like this that have the dirt on them is because that's going to encourage mold also, which you don't want in your pantry. And so just clean them up a little bit like that. Again, you're not trying to take anything off that's gonna peel off and create an open wound on the onion, because then it's gonna cause issues and basically set you back on the curing process. So see this piece here? Just comes right off, and then there's like, you dust them off a little bit more. All right, guys, so we've cut all of the roots off the bottom of these onions, cleaned them up real nicely. We got off all the gross looking onion skins, and they're pretty much ready to sit here for another week or so. And then we'll be putting them into a cool, dark place. Now, we're most likely going to be hanging ours up just like this in our pantry, but you can put them in like on a mesh table with wire mesh and let them hang, or in like baskets. But the main thing is you don't want them sitting where they don't have airflow. If you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.